Hello everyone and welcome back to Destiny. We have a little bit more information about what we can expect in the next weapons patch. In the latest This Week in Bungie blog, a member of the Sandbox team outlined a few goals that they're trying to achieve with this next patch. So let's take a look at these goals and start to talk about what it all might mean. First up, it looks like the weapons balance will be part of the 2.5.0.2 update and is scheduled to be released in mid-February, that is, as long as everything goes according to plan. The information we get this week is from senior designer Josh Hamrick, and their focus this time does seem to be around the Crucible, which is where I think it should be. I haven't played a lot of Crucible lately compared to PvE, and a lot of that is because I'm not too fond of the current meta. So at this point, I'll take just about anything that'll change things up. Now again, as we're not going to be expecting this patch for another few weeks, they're understandably very vague about their goals right now. But I'm happy that they're talking to us either way. He even pokes fun at himself a little bit by calling it a fairly vague, mysterious overview of their goals with the patch. So let's go ahead and take a look at those goals. Number 1 is to promote alternatives and counters to shotguns. So the good news right off of the bat is that it seems to confirm something that we were all hoping for, which is a buff to primaries and other special weapons, which will make them more effective against shotguns. I myself am pretty happy about this change. I've mentioned in a previous video that I think one of the reasons that shotguns are so effective is because of character mobility. You have the ability to close the gap with your enemy very quickly, which means that no matter what they do to shotguns, it will always be an effective choice. Reducing the time to kill on certain weapon classes will make them more attractive to use against shotguns. Moving on to number 2, we have aligned potency of primary weapons with surgical changes. Now, it's hard to say exactly what this might mean. There are actually a lot of possibilities, but either way, it seems like they're not convinced that simply buffing primaries is enough of an answer, which I definitely agree with. My best guess, based on the rest of this list, is that this has something to do with how primaries behave. And if that's the case, this might actually end up being a much more important weapon tuning than we might realize. But as he did mention, surgical changes is a very vague and mysterious thing to say, so we'll just have to wait and see. Number 3 is to file down a couple of issues from each class. The nice thing about this statement is that it seems like all classes, Hunter, Titan, Warlock, will be getting some kind of change. And unfortunately, the phrase file down does usually refer to some sort of nerf. But at least when it comes to classes, I'm not too worried about nerfs. I think there are a few things that are definitely overpowered from each class, one of them including the melee lock-on with the Stormcaller. There are definitely a lot of instances where it locks onto your target, but because of Destiny's mobility, they are already moving far away from you, yet your melee still makes contact, and you get those cross-map melees that everyone hates so much. Now, filing down issues could also be referring to things that just aren't working properly, like let's say the Gunslinger Throwing Knife not counting as a solar ability. Now, as far as Titans go, I am a Titan main, and as much as it hurts me to say it, I really think that lightning grenades need to be taken down a peg or two. But let me know what changes to classes you think they need to implement in the comments below. Number 4, we have fix some issues with a sampler platter of exotics. As we know, they can independently tune exotics from the rest of the weapon classes that they're from, which is good news because a lot of exotics might behave a little differently because of their exotic perks. Now, of course, without getting more information about what exactly they're going to change in the weapon balance, it's hard to say which exotics they want to touch on. But if I had to guess, it would be mostly primaries, probably centering around Red Death, Suros Regime, No Time to Explain, and Hawkmoon. Now, they did mention that they want to freshen things up, so they might actually touch a couple of the exotic sniper rifles to make them more likely to be used. Also, I personally wouldn't mind a buff to the Hardlight. I love the idea of the weapon, but it's never been an effective choice. I would love for Bungie to take one more major pass at it. And finally, with number 5, we have supporting adjustments to special ammunition. Now, this goal is definitely one of the more interesting ones. It's clear that they want to supplement their primary buffs with, again, more changes that would promote the use of primaries more often. It's hard to say exactly what they're going to do with this, but there's a chance that they'll restrict how much special ammo you get in the Crucible yet again. I guess this would be Bungie's way of sort of forcing you out of the current meta, and hopefully we'll be pleasantly surprised with all of the changes. Speaking of which, it looks like we're going to be getting a lot more information about what we can expect in this next patch in a Twitch livestream. They haven't announced the date and time, but my guess would be Wednesday, February 8th at 10 AM Pacific. Otherwise, stay tuned to this channel for more information as it becomes available. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already and turn on mobile notifications so you don't miss out. Also, be sure to drop a like if you enjoyed this video. Your likes do go a long way in exposing this channel to more people, so any support you can provide would be much appreciated. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time. Also, before I go, I wanted to mention that I'll be posting more Overwatch videos over the next few weeks, as they have just released their Chinese New Year 3-week event. I'm pretty excited for that event, and I'll be doing a big loot unboxing video soon, which may already be live depending on when you're watching this video.